All right, everybody, good morning. I am doing this really quickly. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, even though I'm like super slammed this morning, and I'm taking a little bit of a staycation before I do all my international travel. And I wanted to come in here with a quick message for us. So we're sitting in post Aquarius full moon vibes. The moon was absolutely gorgeous last night. It was just so close to us. It was so beautiful. I could see and feel its texture. I felt it was gorgeous. It was simply gorgeous. So let's have a look at the messages here. I'm pulling out my deck. This is a deck I like using. Ooh, look how things came out. I want to make sure I'm not missing any cards. Okay. You know, that's how my deck came out. Oh, okay, this came out too. How many cards is this? Okay. I'm going to grab these cards separately. Put them here. But post full moon, you know, this was a very triggering moon for those fixed signs: Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. So if you have those in your top three especially, I do see that things may have been very revealing. Now, that doesn't mean things need to be emotionally challenging. I do want to remind you of that, right? Sometimes it's simply the day being challenging, you know, like for instance, me, I was challenged with work, you know, and it wasn't a bad thing. There was just a lot happening at once within these full moon energies. And then, you know, sometimes you just have to defend yourself a little. Sometimes you just have to do a little bit more work than you initially anticipated. And when things pile up on me in that extent, it really challenges my ability to stay focused and stay big picture thinking and keep my eye on the prize rather than getting really muddled away with the minutia of the situation. And that's where I felt the most challenged, but I still feel liberated and I still feel confident. So remember, healing is here for the taking for all of us, okay? We just have to shift our perspective often. So let's look at what the energies are saying to us post full moon. I am doing my best to project and speak directly into the audio here on my phone. My AirPods are still charging. I mean, that could be a sign for a lot of us who still need to listen very closely and pay attention to some of the things that are happening in our lives. I feel like some of us are become so trigger happy with situations, and some of us have just become so blindfolded to our daily divine guidance that we're just doing and saying and believing and thinking simply out of habit. We're not becoming consciously aware of what's happening in our lives. So there's a call there for us. And my sister gave me this little bracelet. So there's something called Rakhi. This is called a Rakhi, and it signifies the tie and the bond that my sister and I share. And it's usually done for a special day called Raksha Bandhan in the Indian culture. And a Raksha Bandhan is a little day that celebrates the special bond that brothers and sisters share. Normally, in a patriarchal society, it's been the feminine energies, the sisters who have acknowledged the masculine energies and their protection. In this case, my sister is quite the masculine energy, and I am the feminine energy. So normally, I've had to always remind my sister that it was a Raksha Bandhan, where it was a day where, you know, she would tie something on me as a sign for me to protect her for the rest of her life. I mean, forgive me here, this is just a festival here. I'm not trying to say women needed to be protected, but, you know, these celebrations generally happen under a very patriarchal system. But here, what was so significant here, yesterday she kind of shocked me. I'm not crying, I just have a runny nose. Yesterday she kind of shocked me. I never had to remind her. I was the one who forgot. And she came up and surprised me. And I was like, oh my God, did mom remind you? Did mom buy this to you and remind you that it was Rakhi Bandhan and you were to tie something on me? And she's like, no, I remembered myself. And I was like, oh my God, these masculine energies are stepping up, you know? Traditionally, I've had to always remind my sister. And some years we'd forget and we'd joke about it. And we'd laugh that she wouldn't remember and I'd have to remind her and things like that. But this year she remembered on her own. And my sister is quite the masculine energy. You know, so I was quite surprised that she remembered. She's honoring, she hugged me sweetly, she gave me a couple of kisses on the cheek. She goes, you know, I really love you. And I was like, wow, these masculine energies are really coming forward. They're learning. They're in a place of appreciation, I feel. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, I just had to grab a tissue to blow my nose. And so apologies to anybody who heard that. But these masculine energies are awakening. I feel like things are changing. These gestures are coming about in very beautiful ways, okay? So let's see what we have to know post Aquarius full moon, and I'll make this really quick. Eight of Wands, so downloads, realizations, communications. I was just talking about masculine energies, learning more, understanding more. That was pretty much the crux of yesterday's reading too, a more understanding kind of an energy. This is what this is. This is August, this is Leo season. Bringing in a lot of clarity, especially with this full moon. I'm telling you. Okay, you see that? Nine of Cups. Our independence. Nine of Pentacles, sorry, 10 of Pentacles. I'll take that. This is incredible energy, my God. This is incredible energy. I mean, you know, if your life was perfect, this would be it. But, you know, none of us are living perfect lives right now. So I'm seeing that there's a lot of understanding of self. A lot of understanding about how we've held ourselves back. A lot of understanding about how we've held ourselves back and how that has held us back from our ultimate happiness. So it's a period of self-reflection. So wherever you are on your journey, this is a time of self-reflection. My sister, for instance, quite reflective, but a beautiful gesture, you know? Some of us could have quite triggering moments with this, okay? But this is an energy that's really leading us towards happiness. And look at the bottom of the deck as soon as I cut it. 10 of Pentacles, which is my other happiness card, and 7 of Swords. This is significant because this is your ultimate self-betrayal and self-deception. Often the way we think of ourselves, how we keep ourselves trapped within our wounds, with the inability to move forward, is what holds us back ultimately. Okay, sorry guys, I have to keep an eye on the time. Okay, and I got cut there by accident. Apologies. I had to keep an eye on the time there. But with the 10 of Pentacles and with the 7 of Swords, this is an energy that really sort of acknowledges the self-deception and the self-betrayal we've exercised in our life up until this point. This is an energy that calls you to really take this self-reflective energy seriously. This is an opportunity for you to really grow and understand how you've held yourself back so you can stop those things from happening in the future, or at least exercise more self-awareness so you know how to productively move towards a happier ending rather than keeping yourself stuck in a place where you don't want to be, okay? So this moon is calling us out. It's really saying, hey boo, I think you're the problem. That's what this moon is saying. Wheel of Fortune. So wrapping up, a lot of karmic cycles coming to a close here. I feel like if you're triggered, listen, this moon could either have you stressed and frustrated or triggered and really bothered. Two different types of energies if you're feeling something a little deeper, okay? A lot of us are being challenged to just show up in our authenticity already while we're being authentic, okay? That's a little easier to manage. If you are triggered and bothered, you are closing out karmic cycles. And these karmic cycles have really kept you trapped. Your self-opinion, your self-thoughts, your self-talk, all of this negativity you've shown towards yourself has just found different ways to manifest out into the open in relationships with others and maybe even career opportunities, because I do see the Pentacles here. So I'm seeing there's a lot of karmic closeout for you. And you're being encouraged to walk away. Yeah, the discomfort and everything that's coming to you in this time is really encouraging you to walk away. I had cut the deck here and it fell apart. All right, okay. Cards have disappeared. But you're really being encouraged to walk away from how you've kept yourself back. So, I mean, there is time that's required here for you to fully understand and really come to terms and accept how you've been the perpetrator of your own reality here. I think you may have been very quick to blame others. This energy is not supporting that. This energy is saying, Bo, you need to acknowledge how you have done this. Okay. And then for those of us who are just frustrated and stressed, okay, discomfort, definitely being challenged. Ultimate thing is how you are dipping into your self-love as a way to manage. How are you nurturing yourself? So for instance, I've told you I've been stressed as fuck at work, but that hasn't been because I'm being challenged outside of my comfort zone. I just have a lot to do and there's not enough time in the day. And I'm leaving for a couple of vacations, so I really need to manage my time very well, right? And that's allowing me to, really heal a lot of childhood wounds. And so I'm speaking from my personal experience here, because I think for those of us who are on the stressed and frustrated end of things, it is bringing back a lot of, self-doubt and self-worth issues. But we have exactly what it takes. We just need to take the time to remind ourselves. Even if that's just 5 minutes in the day, do it. I've also been actively trying to build myself breaks within my day so I have time to breathe and think between meetings. So that's really important here, okay? Yeah. Okay, so now let's pull these cards and look for a really quick message before I'm out. Two of Wands, Emperor, Queen of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, Sun. Look at that. So, the bottom of the deck energy, first of all, the Two of Wands and the Emperor came out in yesterday's reading, so I do see that that's a call for us to go back and look at yesterday's reading. But the Empress had come out with that. And here, I'm seeing one step below, which is a Queen of Pentacles. So the message I'm getting here is quite connected to yesterday's message here with this. But while we are in Leo season and we are being encouraged to really celebrate ourselves and step into our happiness, I am seeing here the feminine energy now planting a seed towards a new beginning for herself. She is still an Empress, but just the fact that I've gotten the Queen of Pentacles and not the Empress, this is one stop away from the Empress, is telling me that she's the one planting a seed towards her happiness here. The Emperor is still, you have to look at yesterday's reading if you're resonating with this. The Emperor is still, and this is just a confirmation, is stepping into the newness of this journey of self-awareness, conscious living, and understanding himself. He is going through a lot of what I had talked about acknowledging his actions in the situation. The feminine now is now planting this beautiful pentacle to move forward here, while the masculine begins his work. The synchronicity could allow communication and connection. I don't know what that's going to look like. But we're both headed to fruitful journeys, okay? So for the feminine, there could be some resistance, but that resistance ultimately will be resilience in this energy here as they continue planting new seeds for that opportunity and they heal their childhood wounds. The Six of Cups is also a return energy, and that could be connected to the Emperor here. It could be that you moving down this journey helps bring a healthier version of this connection around. And with Two of Wands and Emperor, this masculine is kind of bothered that you're doing what you're doing over here. I think that you've stopped focusing on this person so much, and now they energetically feel that withdrawal. They do. And they almost feel like they've lost an opportunity here with you. While you haven't turned your back on them completely, you're just like, okay, like if it's meant to happen, it will. Otherwise, there's more people for me. There's no hate or disharmony here. I'm just choosing myself. They feel that. It bothers them. And it should, Ace of Cups, because they're starting to understand they love you. Oh my God. Oh, and communication. So there is ultimately some communication happening here. So I will leave it at that. I'm not going to look at what the communication is going to be because I want you guys to exercise your faith. Okay? Have a good weekend.